Here's a question I get a lot. What personality traits should I possess to be a successful archaeologist? Right? And to me, the answer to that is not what you think. You're going to want me to say, oh, you need to be very meticulous. You need to have a meticulous brain where you can look at all your potsherds and measure them and weigh them and put them in an Excel spreadsheet. And if you have that, you'll be a great archaeologist. It's good to be able to do that. You need to learn some of that. You need to do some of that, but it's not essential, right? You can learn to do that. Or you're going to be like, oh, Kinkella, I know. You just need to be really smart. You need to be really smart, right? What about all that prehistory stuff and all those names and dates and all that? You need to be able to keep that in your big brain. I mean, anyone can learn that stuff. You just have to kind of set your mind to it, and you can learn that. And there's these other kind of cliche things like, oh, you need to like to travel. It helps, but sometimes archaeology is close to home. A lot of archaeology is in the lab. The ability to travel definitely helps. It's definitely on there, but it's not the top. It's not the tippy top. At the top, there's two. The first one, sense of humor. And I mean that in the most basic sense. I don't mean when everything's falling apart, you go, hey guys, I know, guess what? So 2 crocodiles walk into a bar. No. I mean to be able to take difficult situations in a lighthearted manner, the ability to kind of let them slip off your back, of not doubling down and being super worried about them and like sinking into your own depression. Because you could do it. There's moments in archaeology where, it'll bring you down. But you need to be able to look beyond that, right? To know that the sun's going to shine tomorrow, and to be able to keep going, right? And that sense of humor really helps for that. There's aspects in archaeology like loneliness. You're on an archaeology project for months on end. You're gonna be lonely for your friends and family, that kind of thing. But you need that sort of sense of humor in the most basic sense to kind of be like, hey, it'll be better. I'll give him a call tomorrow. It's gonna be okay. Or if something goes really bad on an archaeology, you get a flat tire. You can't go there, have your flat tire and just be like, oh, damn it, flat tire. You gotta just be like, who's up? It's a way to get through the day with a sense of humor, that kind of lighthearted approach. It really helps. And again, I don't mean it in an annoying way, in an overbearing, look at me, I'm a clown way. It's much more that sun will shine tomorrow way. The other one, which I think is the number one most important trait, tenacity. Tenacity is stick-to-itiveness, the ability to finish what you start, the ability to see a project through. Tenacity. Every successful archaeologist I know has tenacity. You need it. If you don't have tenacity, don't apply. You're not going to make it. There's grad students who I meet every so often, and I'm like, nope. Can tell. They ain't going to make it. They're not tenacious enough. You got to be able to see the project through in so many different ways, And I have to say, I know a handful of archaeologists who are, well, they're not that smart, right? But they're tenacious, and that's why they're archaeologists. That's why they have a PhD or whatever, because they stuck with it. I know some stone cold geniuses, some hardcore, high IQ, very impressive, way smarter than me people. No PhD, no advanced degree. A lot of times not too much of anything because they don't have any tenacity. They can't, even though they're super brilliant, they can't stick it out. They can't get it to fruition, They give up. And you just can't do that in archaeology. You won't make it, I can think of many different worlds in archaeology where this matters. This matters, of course, in the academic world in terms of writing your dissertation, in terms of like writing the rough draft of it and going back in for meetings with the professors and this kind of thing, you need to keep going, right? When you get your first draft of your dissertation back and you realize chapter 2 is terrible, you got to keep going. When you're signing up, when you're applying for grants, and this is the 26th grant I'm applying for, I didn't get the other 25. Well, too bad. Keep going. And then finally, of course, in the field. In the field, it's the most physical of it all. There are times, man, in the jungle where, you know what? The jungle doesn't give a damn. So you need to keep going from that inside. And the best thing that can happen to you is when you fall down. And I mean, you eat it. Just absolutely on your face. But in that moment, what you need to do, get up, take a breath, take in the situation, and keep walking.